Good morning, it's Dr. Alan Yim. In this video, I'm going to be talking about mode mixture. Mode mixture is really an exciting thing to learn about because it can add so much to your music. So what is it? Well, mode mixture is just basically borrowing chords from the opposite mode that your composition is written in and mixing them together. So the purpose of this really is to add color to your music and to give you more options with the chords and the melody. In minor, you know that we can raise 6 and 7, and when we do that, it's just like a major scale. So really the only difference in minor is raising up the third degree of the scale. And when we do that, the only chord that really is different from something that we might be able to use in minor is the major 1. So it's really often used, and it's called the Piccardy third. So in D minor, you might have it's usually used at the end of the piece. Everybody recognizes the Piccardy third because it's so obviously different from what you're expecting. Let's talk more about the major keys. So in the major keys, we can lower 6 and 7 or 3, and this creates all the different chords of the minor scale, the diatonic chords in minor. So I'm going to list them first just to remind you. Of course, we have 1, 2, I'll write the triads first, 3, 4, now 5 we know we raise the leading tone. We normally use the major 5, so I'm going to leave that one out. 6 and 7. We also have 7, the major 7. What I'm going to write here, since this is the root of the chord, I'm going to put a little flat there. I'm also going to put a flat on the 3 because the root of the chord is lowered. We also can use 2 half-diminished 7. We could use 4/7. We could use 7 fully diminished 7. Okay, how does this look and what are we altering when we do this? So none of these chords, of course, are diatonic to major, and these are the alterations: flat 6 and flat 3, and flat 7, and flat 3 and flat 7. Okay, so we have 5 possibilities here and they're listed. Now the most common one is just using flat 6, and the least common is flat 3 and flat 7. You don't have to remember these details, but it is a little bit helpful to know which ones are the most useful and the ones that you don't see as often. This one at the bottom, flat 3, should not really be a huge surprise because we know that the 3 chord is not as useful as some of the other chords diatonically. However, that flat 3, let's hear it in the key of C. It's a chromatic median. That's something to remember because chromatic medians are useful, and it's also a dramatic shift that the listener, when they hear that, it kind of wakes them up. Same thing for flat 6, that is also a chromatic median. Okay, so if you use flat 3 or flat 6 from a 1 chord, it's a chromatic median. Another interesting or maybe useful relationship to be aware of is that flat 7 is of course 5 of flat 3, and flat 3 is 5 of flat 6. So you can make some circle progressions here using these chords. So here's, it's going to sound a little maybe, okay, so that's just 1 5 1, and then if we go flat 7, 3, 6, 2, let's make it minor 7, 5, and 1. So you can hear the mix. You might be able to hear already there are so many possibilities for substituting in a mixed mode chord. Now when you write these in the you're going to be writing in the major key signature. So I'll do one example, but it's straightforward. You just have to be sure that you use the correct accidentals. And maybe if you're in a more complicated key signature, and let's say we want to use a chord that has a flat 6 and a flat 3, such as flat 6. I'll write a flat 6 in this and see what it looks like. So flat 6 in the key of A flat, well, we know 6 would normally be F minor, but in A flat, it's going to be the awkward F flat. Okay, here we go. F flat. F flat, let's make a C. F, A flat. Okay, so here are the main notes. Everything has to be flatted. So this isn't so bad. We're going to flat F. Okay, and I should have written flat 6 here to make it clear. And we have to flat the 3 in the scale. Okay, so that's going to be C flat. And there it is. Okay, in the key of A flat, 6, flat 6, flat 7, 1. That's kind of a normal, typical thing. Oh my gosh, this is a horrible key. I can't even think in this key. Okay, so, oh sorry, yes. Okay, so F flat, G flat, A flat. I don't know why, my brain was not working, but that's flat 6, flat 7, and then 1. F flat, G flat, A flat. I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea of how mode mixture can be used. We'll be looking at more chord progressions in class, and of course in your homework you're going to be asked to write these. Just be careful with the accidentals and you will be fine. Thanks for watching.